In a quiet town where mornings arrived slowly and evenings lingered like soft sighs, there lived a shoemaker and his wife. Their house was small, and their workshop even smaller. The walls were worn smooth by years of careful work, and the wooden floor carried the quiet memory of steady footsteps. In the early days, the shoemaker's hands were rarely still. From sunrise to sunset, he shaped leather, stitched soles, and polished shoes until they shone gently in the light. People once came often. They spoke kindly, paid honestly, and left with shoes that fit just right. But as time passed, the sounds of knocking grew fewer. The shoemaker noticed the silence first, then the empty shelves, then the coin drawer growing lighter day by day. Little by little, the leather ran out, until one evening, the shoemaker stood at his workbench and saw that only a single piece remained. Just enough for one pair of shoes. He touched the leather slowly, as if greeting an old friend. "These must be made with care," he said softly. That night, he measured and cut the leather with steady hands. He laid each piece carefully on the bench, aligning them just as he always had. "I will finish them in the morning," he told his wife. She nodded, though her eyes were tired. They closed the workshop door, blew out the lamp, and let the house sink into quiet. The night was calm. No wind rattled the windows. No footsteps passed outside. The house breathed slowly, and sleep came gently. When morning arrived, pale light slipped through the window and rested on the workbench. The shoemaker opened the workshop door and stopped. There, neatly arranged, stood a finished pair of shoes, not half done, not hurried. Perfect. Every stitch lay smooth and even. The leather curved as if it had always known this shape. The shoemaker reached out carefully, almost afraid to disturb them. "These are finer than any shoes I have ever made," he whispered. His wife stood beside him, silent, her hand resting lightly on his arm. Neither of them spoke for a long moment. That same day, a customer arrived. He lifted the shoes, turned them in his hands, and smiled. "These are wonderful," he said. He paid more than the shoemaker expected, and left with gratitude in his voice. With the money, the shoemaker bought enough leather for 2 more pairs. That night, once again, he prepared the leather carefully. He laid it out just as before, then closed the workshop door. They went to bed, with quiet hope resting between them. In the morning, 2 pairs of shoes waited on the bench. Finished, polished, ready, day after day, the pattern continued. The shoemaker prepared the leather. The house slept, and each morning beautiful shoes appeared. The workshop slowly filled again. The shelves grew busy. The coin drawer grew heavy enough to make a gentle sound when opened. Yet the shoemaker and his wife did not grow proud. Instead, they grew thoughtful. "Someone is helping us," the wife said one evening, her voice gentle but certain. "Yes," the shoemaker agreed, "and they ask for nothing." They sat together by the dim light of the lamp, listening to the quiet house. "We should see who it is," the wife said, not to stop them, but to understand. That night, they did not go straight to bed. They hid quietly behind the workshop door and waited. The moonlight stretched across the floor. The clock ticked slowly. Then, softly, almost like shadows, 2 small figures entered the room. They were elves, small and light, with quick hands and gentle movements. They wore worn clothes, thin and old, yet they moved with confidence and care. Without speaking, they climbed onto the workbench. Their hands worked smoothly, as if they had known this task all their lives. They stitched, they shaped, they polished, not hurried, not tired. When the shoes were finished, they nodded to each other and slipped away into the night. The shoemaker and his wife remained still, their hearts full. "They have given us so much," the wife whispered, "and they have so little." The shoemaker nodded slowly. "We must thank them," he said. The next day, the workshop stayed quiet. Instead of cutting leather, the wife sewed. Tiny shirts, small coats, warm trousers. The shoemaker made shoes, not for customers, but just the right size for elves. That night, they placed the clothes on the workbench and turned out the light. The elves came as before. They stopped when they saw the gifts. They touched the fabric gently. Their faces softened with quiet joy. They dressed carefully, smiling, then danced lightly across the floor. Their laughter made no sound, yet the room felt brighter. They bowed once, then again, and when they left, they did not return. From that day on, the shoemaker worked on his own again. But he was never poor, his hands were steady, his work was good, and each night, as the house settled into sleep, the shoemaker and his wife felt something remain, not footsteps, not magic, but gratitude, a gentle reminder that kindness given freely always finds a quiet way back. And so the town slept peacefully. The workshop rested quietly, and the night held the soft memory of help given without asking, and thanks offered without words.